Yeah.
Okay, so where you got to the States in around 18,
Yes.
and you said that you were bullied a little bit in the Philippines, or was that in the U.S.?
Actually, I experienced bullying more in the Philippines when I was in high school. A little bit in elementary because uh, people already know that I'm gay.
Hmm.
Um, and it's very obvious. So, typical kid at that time, making fun of me, calling me gay, um, calling me that weight, and now I'm on this frame.
How
And
how how overweight were you? What was your weight?
back then I was 260.
No, you weren't.
I was.
And so I think you're. I'm going to guess. Don't you just tell? Am I? May I guess first of all?
Sure.
I'm going to guess 185,
Lower.
175
A lot lower.
situation, or is it was um, some type of jealousy situation, and it just turns into the end of a family being happy.
Yes, and that is why I'm really grateful for Patricia Watts for really creating this organization. And it's not just um putting awareness on human sex trafficking, but it on one of her events she would also would open a panel with survivors of human sex trafficking and how they actually changed their lives.
Right.
They they did a whole 180 degree, and I got to meet them, and we get to talk. I listened to their stories, and it's just it's another way of really inspiring people to make a difference, or motivating people to really turn their lives around.
You know, this card could almost seem inappropriate
Every
at
time I see that, it makes me
well,
smile.
okay. So, welcome to the Dr. Smiley Show. I am with Mr. Maryland, David Valeriano, and welcome to the show, David.
Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm doing great. So, I see you at all the cool events in the DMV, and I guess that's one of the perks of being Mr. Maryland.
Yes, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the rain, traveling the entire DC, Maryland, Virginia, and really getting to know the states that I grew up, pretty much spent most of my life um, with. So it's fun, interesting, and fun.
So, was it difficult to achieve that status of Mr. Maryland? I mean, how many people competed for it?
There's quite a few that competed. But since I had the experience of competing in pageantry, um, I think it shows that I'm more comfortable being on stage, more comfortable in speaking in public, and I think that really shows. So thankfully, I'm not. Whenever I compete, I always have a mindset that you're there for the experience. If you
Mhm.
win, great. If not, then just improve. Move on to the next competition.
Have you done a lot of competitions?
The first pageant that I've done was Mr. DC, and that was the first ever. I only had 2 weeks of preparation, and that was a stressful moment. Thankfully, I had like a good team that helped me, and fortunately, I won. Um,
So you won Mr. DC and Mr. Maryland.
yes,
Have you
I
won
won
both?
Mr. DC in 2023.
Okay.
And then 6 months after that, I asked permission from Dr. Crosslin, who's the founder of Mr. DC, if I could compete at Mr. Gay DC America. So I could compete at Mr. Gay America. So they gave me their blessings, they supported me. Fortunately, I won. Then I went to Vegas for the national, and I placed third runner up.
That's amazing. Out of 50. So what? And then you didn't have to live in Mr. Maryland to be Mr. Maryland. Is that correct?
For this pageant system, you do need to live in Maryland. But for my previous pageant system, Mr. DC and Mr. Gay DC, not necessarily.
Okay. And you do live in Maryland.
I do live in Maryland,
Near
Rockville, exact.
Rockville, so you're near DC, so that makes it convenient. And you do lots of events in the DMV because I see you at all these philanthropic, all these fashion events, and so it's a very social life, right?
Yes, very. Someone who's an introvert, it's like, what am I doing here?
Well, I know we've talked before, and I wanted to just do a little recap for people that don't know. You were born in the Philippines,
Yes.
and how long did you live there?
I I believe I was there until 17, 18. Then I moved here with my mom and my brothers through my dad. He's been here most of his life. So through the process of petition, process of the whole paperwork interview at the embassy, we got approved, then we moved here.
Well, I know since you're from the Philippines that you would want me to say mabute, right?
Yes.
What does that mean?
That means good.
Yes. And it's a great expression. I mean, any American would want to say that.
Yes, good.
And then here's a book. This is Tagalog. Keep smiling, and it's in my book that actually expresses all the different languages that we've covered, which are 48 languages. And as you can imagine, if you hold that card to somebody who's from the Philippines, they light up,
Yes.
just like the Keep Smiling card lights people up. So, um, I the reason you're on this show is because I had heard rumors that your parents were perfect, and so I want to have someone that has perfect parents on the show to explain what that looks like. No, every single family has different degrees of what is considered false or interesting, I guess, ways and dynamics of having a family. And so I'm sure you're no exception, just like I'm not an exception. But you said your parents were the best. So go ahead and
Um,
share what made them the best. And I think you'd said that in your schooling that you were super accepted. Everyone loved you. Everyone wanted to hug you, right?
I wish. Well, first, I am thankful to have my parents. I couldn't ask for better parents, despite of having financial difficulties before, and stick together. They supported me regardless of who or what I identify as, and they just keep on. They're not the type of parent that will tell you, oh, you should be this, you should be that. They will always say, do what makes you happy.
Mm-hmm.
We will support you. And we will, if we can't afford it right now, we will find a way to help you. And I'm thankful for that. I'm here because of them. And of course, like any other parents, if we do something crazy, we'll get reprimanded. And Filipino parents are, mm, you'll see flying stuff everywhere.
Well, you never did anything bad, so you never had to see that. So that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so where you got to the States in around 18,
Yes.
and you said that you were bullied a little bit in the Philippines, or was that in the U.S.?
Actually, I experienced bullying more in the Philippines when I was in high school. A little bit in elementary because uh, people already know that I'm gay.
Hmm.
Um, and it's very obvious. So, typical kid at that time making fun of me, calling me gay, um, calling me that the term bakla means gay or bayot, which is another language for gay.
Is it still that way? It,
No. Thankfully, the Philippines are more accepting towards us. We have a lot in the Philippines. If you watch current events, a lot of our well-known public figures there
mhm.
are pretty much openly gay.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, I was
very,
going to say that back then, depending on what decade we're talking about, it's funny, but they could say you're gay, and you say thank you, but that wasn't the case because that wasn't the climate or the intention of that comment.
yeah, at that time, no.
Right.
Yeah, now it's like, oh, like you're gay. I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
like, ooh,
Yeah, and it's more of your classification of identity.
yes.
Yes, gotcha. All right, so talk about what you're doing. Why is it so important to be Mr. Maryland? What are you doing with your platform that
Yes. So my platform, I do support quite a few organizations. First, what's close to me is the Filipino American Cancer Care. Um, this organization helps cancer patients by providing financial assistance. So we organize events specifically cater for them. So we would organize concerts, fashion shows, um, bingo, and even Zumba competition. So whatever funds we accumulated from that event, we would give $1,000 to each Filipino American Cancer Care beneficiary the moment the show event ended. And they're very transparent when it comes to that, that they would really give that money. And it's not just for Filipino American, whoever submitted their application to receive financial assistance. And it's not just a one-time donation. It'll continue. And I've been a supporter since then. Great people, great organization. I'm very proud to be their ambassador. Another organization that I'm supporting is We Model USA's fight against human sex trafficking, especially a lot of um, immigrants coming from different countries are being trafficked to different, not just, I wouldn't say just in the US, but pretty much all over the world, and being sold as um, for their body, which is really awful. And the mental trauma that they had to go through, the abuse that they had to go through, it just, when I found out that my friend Patricia Watts are organizing or this organization, I immediately said, sign me up. Let me see what I could do.
Yeah, Patricia Watts has a really big heart. What about the first one with the cancer? Who runs that?
Ah, yes. We call whoever's older than us, we call it ate or tita. So this is founded by my ate Josie Moralidad. She is also a cancer survivor, and it was founded in 2020.
And she lives here.
She lives in Virginia.
Okay.
And she's been doing it since she has board of directors that's assisting her. And I admire her. I just truly admire her. Just the way she takes care of the cancer warriors, survivors, and their family is just remarkable. And once an event is over, she will immediately start organizing another event because there's so many cancer patients that needs assistance. So we cannot, that Filipino American Cancer Care or FACC cannot really pause. They have to keep on going to gather those funds. So that's really admirable.
Yes, extremely. I mean, please connect me. I'd love to support her any way I can.
Yes.
And then Patricia Watts, I know, and she's been a socialite sister, as it were. Always keep me in the loop, and her events are huge, really beautiful events.
I I actually met her, oh my God, I think it's over a decade ago.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, it was a pageant that we judged, and
Mm.
then just connected since then. So she saw my journey when I was overweight, and now I'm on this frame.
How
And
how overweight were you? What was your weight?
back then I was 260.
No, you weren't.
I was.
And so I think you're. I'm going to guess. Don't you just tell, am I? May I guess first of all?
Sure.
I'm going to guess 185,
Lower,
175.
lot lower.
Are you serious? You really lost some weight.
Yeah. So I am down to 135.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
You lost half your weight.
Yes. I believe me, I don't know how I did it. Well, I know how I did it, but couldn't believe that I was able to do it.
Yeah. So how'd you do it?
Well, it started during the pandemic.
Did it?
Um,
So before the pandemic, you were this weight of 260?
yes, yes.
Believe
So
it.
believe it or not, well, people are like what they called gaining that COVID weight. I
Hmm.
was losing it. I was in the process of losing it. I think it was towards the end of 2020 when I really started doing the whole weight loss thing. Because prior to that, something happened. I did some things that really changed my way of looking things. And I made a promise that I'll be a better person. I'll take it slow. I'll make sure to maintain that person that I've always wanted to be. And now here we are.
Here we are. And you don't have to share it if you don't want to, but obviously this show's about being as vulnerable as you'd like so people can relate and see what you had to overcome. So you can share it if you like.
Oh no, I don't mind sharing at all. So I was at the peak of my depression back in 2020. I would say that's a combination of feeling not feeling accepted, um, feeling that you're not good enough,
Mm-hmm.
things are not going your way, and eventually multiple problems happening all at once. And I just couldn't handle it anymore. So I attempted ending my life. Um, I survived.
Well,
Uh,
we're glad you didn't succeed. That was in
I'm
your place.
glad.
You don't want to
And
succeed.
yes. And that made open my eyes that I made a lot of realization at that time. First, that we actually have so much control in our lives that actually in just one snap or one pop of pills, we could actually end it.
Mm-hmm.
So it is quite scary to think of when you think about it, how much control we have. And at the same time, it is quite thrilling and challenging because if you're able to try to end your life, what more, how much more control do you have if you're trying to live? So that's what I did. Instead of focusing on the things that are not working well, I slowly start focusing on the things that is uh some of the little things that is good. Um I try to the moment I wake up, I would say I'm alive, my parents are here with me, and I have a job, and I get to pay my bills. Little things, little things. I start.
And yet those are huge things.
Yes, and I start to really focusing on appreciating those things and not disregarding the not so great things, but not really entertaining it as much.
Mm-hmm. That's
So
good.
yeah, I'm making the positive aspect a lot heavier than the negative aspect. So yeah, so after waking up, that is when I started, let me start working on my mental health first. To therapy at that time, everything is just Zoom related. And then it started with little self-acceptance that I was on that at that time I was on that body frame, I was on that mental state, and I made it a point that I know this is me. This was me at that time, but I know I could be better.
Mm.
So then it eventually, the moment I accepted myself, I started improving because I know I have the capacity of improving. Then it turns into self-appreciation and then self-love. And that is when I like focus on, okay, let me start now that I could control my mental health. Let me start with my physical health. So I started with those beginners friendly YouTube videos, workout videos. Oh my God, let me tell you, 15 minutes of cardio at that during that time, I was panting. I was panting. Then slowly, and I have that mental, how do you say this? Um, I have this way of thinking that I will not rush things because I want to prolong or I want to maintain a healthy relationship with myself. So YouTube videos of working out, then eventually I started doing more intense workout, start watching what I eat. Then I noticed that, wait, I'm actually shedding the weight.
Mm,
And oh my God, it took me 3 years to lose more than 125 pounds, but I was able to maintain it. I'm not like craving for anything. That is when even my mental state, my mental clarity has become more better. I became more positive when it comes to seeing things. And I believe in law of attractions. What you bring out to the universe eventually goes back to you.
right.
And that is where things started to really happen for me the way that I've always wanted to be.
That's beautiful. And I like to hear that it's not a switch, but it's just little pieces moving in the right direction.
Yeah,
And to your point, how can you take care of yourself if you don't love yourself? So
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Because it's completely up to you. If you could read as many books as you want, you could get as many advice as you want, but eventually it's still up to you if you want to make that change. You don't have to make sudden change. I think that's what I've noticed a lot of people want, like instant gratification, instant satisfaction. And that will never work, regardless of your mental health or physical health. Crash diet, that'll never work. So take things slowly. Quality is better than quantity, in my opinion.
Mhm.
So, yeah,
And I know we talked before the show that you are an advocate for people that are depressed too. And so I have several things to go back to that you talked about, but let's talk about this for a second.
sure, sure.
So you said you use your platform to help those that are suicidal or depressed. So
Suicidal, who has a suicidal tendency.
mhm,
Uh, this is my way of giving back. Uh, And again, I would emphasize that I could give you as many as by advice as you could, but it's completely up to you. But I feel like it's still also my job to somewhat convince you that you need to, or at least give you that motivation to make that change, to even take that one step. So whenever people hear my story, they would say, it would inspire them, it would motivate them, and that makes me happy. And I will keep in touch with them, like, hey, how you doing? And whenever they are struggling, I would get a message like, hey, I feel a little down at the moment. It's like, oh, let's go for a FaceTime. Let's chat for a bit. One thing that works is like I would just listen.
mhm.
Like I'm not a therapist. I cannot really give you I don't want to give you an advice that might be harmful for you, but I always believe in listening. I always believe in empathizing, and surprisingly it works.
Yes, of course it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the neat dynamic of that is if no one cares about you, you don't care about yourself, you're probably going to check out. And if only one person cares about you, you say, well, maybe I should as well, or I can't let them down, or I have someone and only one person that believes in me, I'm going to prove they're right.
Yeah. And I always believe in the power of listening.
Mm-hmm.
Just you don't have to based on my experience, whenever I try to open up to anyone and they would say, "Oh, you should have done this, you should have done that," it wasn't helpful at all. Like, "Oh, you're just correcting me."
Right.
I need someone to listen to me.
Yep.
Like, I need someone to really that would tell me, "Yeah, what you're going through is rough, but hey, you're here."
That's awesome. So let's go back to the sex trafficking and Patricia Watts and her cause. So I didn't say this, so I want to interject it at this point. Isn't it crazy that we're in the year 2025 and that this even has to be a topic? Like,
Mhm.
like I cannot believe that you're on my show and that could be brought up as a problem still, especially in the United States. I mean, it's everywhere, but it's in the United States too. Like people can't say, "Well, we're okay. We don't have that problem."
Yeah.
So,
Uh, yeah. To my surprise, yes. Even me mentioning human sex trafficking in this year is just still unbelievable. If it happens on a first world country,
right.
it's more worse than a developing or third world country because one, some are being trafficked against their will. Some also are being trafficked and because they need they need financial support. They need to help their family. So if they have to sell their bodies, they would do so. It's against their will, but they just it's like holding on to a knife, regardless if you're being cut.
It's a different version of depression and suicidal tendency because you feel worthless.
Yes. Yes, guys, and it feels like that's the only thing that you could do. And it's mind-boggling to me to see why people would do such a thing, why people would could be that horrible to others.
Yeah, one of the things that I think about sometimes is the person doing this to another human. You had brought up earlier about law of attraction.
Yes.
They obviously cannot be happy people,
No.
and not only can they not be happy people, they probably hate themselves as much as anyone could hate themselves for what they're doing, which brings more anger and a cycle. And it's interesting what you said earlier. If they were brought out of that picture, I'm talking about the sex trafficker,
Yeah.
and they experienced love or normality, um, they never would have been in that in the first place, or they would be a crusader like you of saying this is wrong. And I mean, the people that are in gangs that they finally have someone that loves them, and they say I'm not in this gang anymore, and then they start talking to the gang members. This is not the way to live.
Yes.
So I just want to interject that because it's sad that uh, there's unfortunately movies that are based on true stories of people that lose somebody that it was a street situation or it was some type of jealousy situation, and it just turns into the end of a family being happy.
Yes. And that is why I'm really grateful for Patricia Watt for for really creating this organization. And it's not just um, putting awareness on human sex trafficking, but on one of her events, she would also would open a panel with survivors of human sex trafficking and how they actually changed their lives.
Right.
They they did a whole 180 degree, and I got to meet them and we get to talk. I listen to their stories, and it's just it's another way of really inspiring people to make a difference, inspiring people, motivating people to really turn their lives around.
You know, this card could almost seem inappropriate
Every
at,
time I see that, it's like it makes me
well,
smile.
and I was going to say sometimes when you have an event where it's about suicide or it's about sex trafficking or it's about something that's really a difficult topic, that card is to remind us and remind the people that are stand for those people that life is to be enjoyed. And I give the card to people that are making that shift and making that difference and having what you said, appreciation, gratitude, and taking the little steps just to be better.
Yes, and I appreciate you coming to those events, and I appreciate organization that create those events, because it only goes to show that there are good people out there who is willing to help you, who is willing to be with you and create the path for you to make that change. So that's why, even though I'm tired, didn't have enough sleep, I would go there, I would dress up, and I just want to be constantly surrounded with really good, positive people because,
Well, I want to get a new picture of you with the card, and I have a studio where I'd love for you to bring a lot of people that you care about that are
oh,
doing
yes.
things, and we'll set up a studio day. It's near BWI.
Okay.
I know you're going to events weekly, so I'm going to give you a little hint that tonight I'm going to try to make it to the it's the Hall of Fame of Songwriters. Is that correct?
Yes. Women's Songwriter Hall of Fame.
And I would be remiss if I didn't say thank you to Patricia for inviting you, Patricia Watts, and then Janelle Harris. She's with She Exists magazine, and she opened up He Exists magazine. I'm gonna nominate you as someone that has a great story that should be in the magazine. And
Yeah.
if I see you tonight, I'm gonna get a new picture of you because I've got several of you with the Keep Smiling card, but I'd like to get a new one.
Oh,
And
yes.
this card is not just about honoring someone; it's about actually distributing it. So I send this card. I've got over 300 books. And the reason I want to tell you this, David, is I go to an event like the one tonight, and only the people that are at the event know about it. And maybe twice that know about it, but couldn't go. That's about it. But if you do these photos and people share it and the event gets all this love and light, the event grows. And so does the cause. And so does the message, and so is the impact and the results. And that's what this whole movement's about.
Yes. Actually, I remember when I did my first photo with you with the Keep Smiling card. That was in Miss Africa, USA. And it was before I was hired there to be a red carpet host, and that card alone, it's like keep smiling. That got stuck in my head. So the whole interview, me interviewing guests at the red carpet, I was just smiling. I was like, okay, let me just share this positive energy that I just got from this small card to you. So the whole time I was just in a good mood.
Yeah, and Miss Africa, that was quite a while ago, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what year, but it was around 23, I think. Maybe it's 18, but we'll have to find that older picture. But
I think it was 2023.
2023. Okay, so then I am right. Okay, good. So I will find that and I'll post that with your. But I want you to put the links when we put the show up of
Okay.
organizations. So, what else would you like to share in the show?
Ooh, what else do you want to know?
Well, I want to know anything that would make your show complete. We obviously have how to reach you afterwards, and the five big questions I want to ask at the end of the show. But we're getting kind of close to a wrap up time. If you'd like,
Okay. Well, let me share you little bits and pieces of myself other than the whole weight loss and being a title holder. Being a title holder is fun, but
okay.
it also comes with responsibility of being a positive role model for to everyone, but at the same time being true to yourself. And that's what I want to share to anyone who wants to be in pageantry, regardless of what you identify as, whether you're a straight man, gay, straight woman, lesbian, transgender, there is a platform for you. There is a system for you that you could join if you want to be with someone who shares the same passion, same advocacy, or you want to bring more awareness on your cause. Pageantry is the best way for you to do that. It opens a lot of door for you. Right now, I'm Mr. Maryland Revolutionary, and this is new, but such an amazing organization, and just working with them it's been really fun. Other than pageantry, yes, I do model every now and then, love working in fashion. Just getting to meet designers and really having a more personal relationship with them.
Hmm.
Um, I'm very active. I like to run. I like to work out a lot, and A lot of people, they see it on my Instagram. I pole dance. I do pole dancing as part of my workout. And
What's your Instagram?
just David.
Just David.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll put that in. I want to backtrack for 1 second. You you said a lot about pageantry and how that's made a difference, obviously, in your life and how it could make a difference in someone else's life. What are three tips that you'd say some people would either miss or if they used it, they'd have a better chance of winning?
One thing's for sure, if you want to be in pageantry, you have to be the most authentic version of yourself. You cannot just put a mask or pretend, create this persona.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to last. It will not. Eventually, you'll get tired of it and you'll be like, screw this. You have to be passionate
Mm-hmm.
that on the things that you'd like to put emphasis on. And you have to be willing to work with others.
Well, those are good tips. I got those ones. Now, hardcore, someone's trying to do the pageant, they have those three things. Let's take another deeper dive. What would be what would be a way of sharpening the possibility of you winning?
Oh, definitely like any other sports that you do, training is needed. You can't just be walk on stage and just walk. You need to connect to the audience. You need to connect to the judges. And at the same time, you have to really prep yourself on how to answer questions, interviews. That is actually, surprisingly, that is actually my favorite category, interview.
I can
Uh,
imagine.
yeah, that's because believe it or not, I'm an introvert, even up to now. If you see me in an event, I'll be in one corner. Um, but pageantry really helped me become more at ease of speaking English. Is not really my primarily language, so I do have that Filipino accent. Sometimes I'll pause for a bit to really try to deliver the message in English because sometimes in my head it's in my own language.
It's the
But
gauntlet, right?
yes, so it really gives me that confidence. Like, hey, I have this accent. I think it's sexy, and and let me share it, and I'll get the message to be delivered. And it's very important to have a coach that believes in you
Mhm.
and that would really work on you. So having a coach are important.
I agree with you. That is very good advice because a coach has been there. A coach knows where to improve and what to suggest, and has your best interest at heart for the most part.
Yeah, and I just want to say hello to Angie and Vicky. Those are my coaches that's been helping me since the beginning of my pageant journey. And Angie's my interview coach and he really helped me a lot. Vicky is my walking coach because pageant walk is different than runway walk. So during pageant season, if I'm competing, I would really not be involved in modeling because those two are like very contradictory.
Hmm. Understood. Well, I think we did good, except for one thing I want to say is you should have a book.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you have great story, great passion. I mean, by the way, it's a reflection of what you want to go beyond your physical self. Is that a book obviously could be shared and you could touch people all around the world. This interview, I hope to have lots of people wake up and say, "Wow, it's not that hard. It's just little improvements."
Just take things one day at a time. Don't don't rush.
If I lose half my weight, David, I'll be less than you.
You know what? Bring it.
I don't know if I want to lose that much, but I do want to lose some weight. You've inspired me today that it's just that little bit. So thank you so much for being on the show. I wanted to ask you one, how people can connect with you. What's the best channels to follow you?
Yes, follow me on Instagram at just David. I'm always there. I'm always posting, and that's the best way for me to um to get in touch with, or you can follow me on Facebook, simply Dave Valeriano.
Okay, so I have five exit questions that are typically called rapid fire. I say them quickly, you answer them quickly. If
All
you
right.
if you expand, you don't need to expand much. But for instance, if I said, "What is this?" and you go, "Well, it's tough. I got two answers," then just give the two quick answers. Okay, you ready? All right.
Ready.
What book changed your life?
Ooh, Boy Erase.
Boy Erase.
Yeah, Boy Erase. That is about someone who's um gay, openly gay, and parents found out. This boy was sent to a conversion
Mm-hmm.
facility, and the mom couldn't handle it. And mom, being a mom, really did her job to take this boy out. And I saw the movie, and I just loved it. It's very inspiring.
You remember the author?
Yes, I have it here. It's
Show it. Show it.
Gerard Conley.
You have the book you can show?
Yeah, I listen to audiobooks, so there you go. Boy Erased. It's also in a movie as
Yeah.
well.
Thank you. All right. And that leads me to what movie inspires you?
Oh, there's so many movies that inspires me.
Give me your
Ah,
top two or three.
hmm. Okay, call it cheesy, but I love Titanic.
Yeah.
I'm very romantic. I love romantic movie. Another movie, it's actually a holiday movie called The Ultimate Gift.
Oh, that's a great.
I,
I love that one.
you love that movie? Oh my God. That movie's like it really taught you a lesson, like not to rely on material things.
Yeah, it's a good wake up.
It's a good wake-up call. Another one, I would say huh, I used to love this book, so I'm not gonna mention it because she stands her belief is I'm against. Well, but I would say
Yeah, that you're too funny. I would say this, but I'm so against this person, so I'm definitely not going to say it. But I loved it.
it's a love and hate relationship. I guess I love
Well,
the
don't bring it up. Just bring up the ones that inspire you that you love that you wanted.
okay. What else?
Well, you don't need to give any more. You gave two. That's fantastic. You have
Yeah,
another one?
actually, this YouTuber that been following, Mamrie Hart. She has a book called my one of my favorite books is called You Deserve a Drink. It's very light. It's an autobiography of her and
Mhm.
how she dealt with life in a comedic way. And I met her in person once when I was in LA, and I just love her.
Oh, we'll make sure those links are available so we can help give her some more support and cheer her on. All right. What song gets you going?
Oh, there's a couple. One is The Reason to Live by Citizen Soldier. It's about fighting depression, not
You sent that to me.
yeah, not giving up on life. And whenever I feel down, I listen to that and it really inspires me. Second one is actually people thought it was like my theme song. It's called This Is the Moment. Um, and I've been singing that song for God knows how
Who
long.
does that?
Jekyll and Hyde.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
And it's basically you telling the world that this is my time. I'll show you who I am. I'll show you what I got. And regardless of the rough road ahead, I will rise above it.
Kind of reminds me of the Greatest Showman. This is me.
Yes, kind of similar to that.
Yeah, cool. All right. Who's your hero?
Hmm. Of course, very cliche, my parents, hardworking people that I know about. Mom works multiple jobs, so is my dad, and I just admire them so
You
much.
want to tell him you love him right now?
Huh?
You want to
Hey,
tell him?
um, love you. And dad, and despite us, dad, um, is diabetic, but still like kicking ass. Mom, a loving mother, a loving grandmother, and just I just really respect them so much. And of course, believe it or not, I'm very much into Disney. So I would say Walt Disney because he did the unthinkable. And that's admirable.
Yeah, he did. Um, who's someone you'd want to meet? I'm guessing maybe Walt Disney, right?
Yes, maybe not now because I still have things to do.
Well, I'm
Uh,
talking about meet like someone actually says next week I can make the meeting happen for you. You get to meet him or her.
no, I have plans.
That's okay. That's funny.
No. So, non-living, of course, Walt Disney. Living, I would say always wanted to meet. Ah, hopefully it would happen. I, mm, would it be possible?
Just say the name.
I would say it's a YouTuber, very Grace Helbig. She is
Grace Helbig.
Grace Helbig. She was also a cancer survivor, and she documented her journey. And I just admired her from the beginning when she was starting on YouTube, and then now really just
When she sees this interview, she's going to call you and you're going to have lunch with her.
ah, hopefully.
And my last question for the interview is, what quote do you live by?
Mm, if not now, when?
That's always a good one.
Yeah, not now, when? I actually heard that again from Arbany Gabriel of Miss Universe 2022, and that really stuck with me because there's no better time than today to do things that you want to really make that changes. Because if you're going to wait for things to be okay, never gonna be happy.
You're right.
Yeah.
I like that. I just wrote it down. I'm going to work on this today. So there was a guy named Mark Twain. You remember him by chance? He said, the two most important days in your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why. And I took the quote and I said, I want to add one more thing. So I made it Mark Twain and Dr. Smiley. So it's the day you're born, the day you find out why, and the day you do something about it. So with yours, I wrote down, if not now, when? If not me, who?
Oh, I love that.
So I'm going to see if I can think all day about a third version. I mean, a third line, because I like things in threes if possible.
Okay.
So it was a pleasure, David, to have you on the show. And you really are the epitome of what it is to be a pageant winner that uses a platform to make the world better, to inspire humanity. I am grateful to have you as a friend. And I look forward to our friendship even making a bigger difference in the world.
Thank you. I'm excited on this journey. I'll continue on this journey. As long as I could. I believe it'll be a forever thing for me, even though I'm um even outside pageantry, now that I know I know my purpose, and I love this purpose that was given to me by the universe. And yeah,
You want to hear something that'll make you smile and be kind of a little bit of a treat?
yes.
Here we go.
I'll have a busy day today, so I need something
Okay,
very
here.
positive.
Well, it's very positive and it's very trippish. Trippish means when I say it, you're gonna be like, "Oh, I hadn't thought of it like that."
Okay.
Your interview today is probably, if you were to transcribe it, is probably about 25 to 35% of your book done.
What?
As a publisher, I would know that. You have to build it out still, but I mean, you've said so much in this interview. You building those table of contents and those chapters out. You pretty much have a lot of great information here that if you built it out, you'd have a book in your hands. Are you ready for the date? You'd have it in your hands by September, October, November to give to people for the holidays if you wanted.
Oh my God, that's
How about
exciting.
that? And I say this to you as a compliment. You can check my shows out. I don't always tell people at the end of the show. In fact, I rarely do that. What they said is actually just a beautiful, harmonious song that would be a beautiful book.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, you're great, David. I'm really happy that I know you, and you should be really proud of yourself. But I know a lot of people are proud of you too.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm thankful. Always grateful.
Yeah, and it's beautiful when you're grateful. What happens? Gratitude comes back over and over again.
Exactly.
Back. So this is Dr. Smiley with Mr. Maryland. David, you know how to follow him and cheer him on, but more importantly, check out his upcoming book because I believe he's going to do one.
Oh God.
Well, I'm manifesting the power of attraction for you because I think you're just too powerful that you need to have something that expands your message. So, congratulations on that.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.